Hello students, a very good morning to you all. Now, as you all know that we have started with our revision sessions. Okay, in revision session we are doing revision and you have finished with revision of chapter number 1. We have covered page number 14 also of chapter number 2. Now, we are going to do revision of chapter number 4, that is the plateaus and the desert regions. I repeat, the plateaus and the desert regions. In this chapter we shall study about the plateaus and the desert regions of India. The plateau region. A plateau is an area of flat land which is higher than the land around it. It is also called a tableland. The plateau region in India extends from the south of the northern plains to the southern tip of India. As you all can see in the map, okay, given on page number 26 of your textbook. We are referring textbook wherein first I will explain the chapter followed by the exercises in the revision. Now difficulties, if any, you need to ask in the online class. But children, start preparing for your terminal exam which is going to approach very soon. Okay, still we have 1 month time, but then also it is better to prepare beforehand. Okay, there are several hill ranges. I repeat, there are several hill ranges in the plateau region. The Aravalli range in the northwest, the Rajmahal Hills in the northeast, the Eastern Ghats in the east and the Western Ghats in the west. The region is rocky and uneven. I repeat, the region is rocky and uneven. The states of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and the eastern part of Kerala lie in this region. As you all can see in the map, okay, here we have the Western Ghats, here we have the Eastern Ghats. Okay, these are the ranges we can see. Okay, Vindhya range. Can we see the Vindhya range? Yes, the Rajmahal, the Aravalli Hills. Okay, can we see the Aravalli Hills? Yes. Okay. Now, the river Narmada divides the plateau region into two main parts. Now, here I will show you in the map. There is one river Narmada here which is dividing the plateau into two parts. Okay, it is in our Gujarat, river Narmada. Now, this river is dividing the plateau into two parts. The Central Highlands in the north and the Deccan Plateau in the south. See, this is Deccan Plateau and we have the Central Highlands. Okay, we have the Central Highlands and here we have the Deccan Plateau. Now, the Central Highlands. The Central Highlands include the Malwa Plateau in central India and the Chota Nagpur Plateau in the east. The rivers Chambal, Betwa, Son. I repeat, rivers Chambal, Betwa and Son originate means they start in the Central Highlands. They flow northwards and join the Ganga and the Yamuna. The Narmada and Tapi rivers begin in the Vindhya range and flow westwards into the Arabian Sea. Here we know that it is Arabian Sea. Here we have Bay of Bengal and in the southern part we have Indian Ocean. So these are three water bodies surrounding the boundary of India. Okay, the Malwa Plateau is bounded by the Aravalli Hills. I repeat, the Malwa Plateau is bounded by the Aravalli Hills in the northwest and the Vindhyas in the south. It has fine black soil which is ideal for growing cotton and oil seeds. Okay, the Chota Nagpur Plateau has rich deposits of coal, iron ore, manganese, bauxite, mica and other minerals. These are found in Chota Nagpur Plateau because it is a rich source where we find the minerals, which rich deposits are there. Okay. Now, coming to the next page. Okay, coming to the next page. That is page number 27. The Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau. The region south to river Narmada. I repeat, the region south of river Narmada in the Saputara range comprises the Deccan Plateau. It is the largest plateau in India. Children, please underline if you have not underlined. It is the largest plateau in India. The plateau is bounded by the Western Ghats in the west. And I repeat, the plateau is bounded by the Western Ghats in the west and Eastern Ghats in the east. The Western Ghats are a long range of hills. They include the Nilgiris, the Anamala Hills and the Cardamom Hills. The Eastern Ghats are not as continuous as the Western Ghats. They are smaller hill ranges. Okay, Eastern Ghats are not as continuous as Western Ghats. Western Ghats are continuous. Now, okay, did you know the term Deccan? Deccan comes from the Sanskrit word Dakshin. Okay, Dakshin means the south. We have learnt in Hindi, Gujarati, Uttar, Dakshin, Purab, Paschim. So this Dakshin word, okay, the meaning is southern direction. Now, rivers. The rivers of the south are fed by rain. The rivers of the south are fed by rain. They are not perennial rivers. We have learned the meaning of perennial, okay? Perennial rivers are rivers which are flown throughout the year. They are filled with water. But here the rivers of the south are fed by rain. They are not perennial. They are only flooded with water during the and after the rainy season. Okay, during and after the rainy season. Most rivers such as the Godavari, Mahanadi, Krishna, Kaveri rise in the west. See, Godavari, Mahanadi, Krishna, Kaveri rise in the west and flow into the Bay of Bengal in the east. This is because the Deccan Plateau, I repeat, this is because the Deccan Plateau slopes from west to east. So from west it is sloping towards the east. The Narmada and Tapi are the only two rivers. I repeat, Narmada and Tapi are the only two rivers which flow from east to west and into the Arabian Sea. Okay, these two rivers flow towards west, okay, and flow in Arabian Sea. Dams have been built on the rivers to store water. Okay, we have studied about the multi-purpose projects. Okay, different dams are built on different rivers for storage of water. Okay, they help in irrigation and also provide electricity. Okay, we learnt about hydroelectricity, if you remember, children. Okay, we learnt about hydroelectricity also. Electricity which is produced from water. When water is flown from a great height, the electricity is generated, which is known as hydroelectricity. For instance, the Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. The Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, for instance, is one such dam which is situated on river Krishna. There are number of waterfalls. There are number of waterfalls in this region. One of the highest waterfalls in India is Jog Falls. I repeat, one of the highest waterfalls in India is Jog Falls. It is located on river Sharavati in Karnataka. It is located on river Sharavati. Here you can see the picture. See, Jog Falls on the river Sharavati. Okay. Now, the importance of Plateau region. The importance of Plateau region. The climate in the Plateau region varies from one place to another. Varies means differs. Okay, from one place to another it is different. The soil here is mostly black. The soil is mostly black and red in color. Black soil is good for cultivation of cotton and oilseeds. Now, groundnuts, rice, sugarcane, wheat and millets are some of the crops that are grown in the central region. Most of the people in the Plateau region are farmers. The Western Ghats and the northeastern part of the plateau have thick forests. They provide valuable forest products. I repeat, they provide valuable forest products such as different kinds of wood, fruits, and medicines. There are large coffee, tea, pepper, and rubber plantations in the Nilgiri Hills. Look at the picture. The tea estate in the Nilgiri Hills. This is a picture of a tea estate. Tea estate means tea is grown. Many factories have come up in the plateau region as it is the storehouse of minerals. I repeat, many factories have come up in the plateau region as it is a storehouse of minerals. Do you remember in the Chota Nagpur plateau, it has rich deposits we studied. We studied it has rich deposits of minerals such as iron ore, gold, coal, copper and mica. Now, let us study about the important cities falling in this region. That is the plateau region. Hyderabad, Nagpur, Bhopal, Indore, Bangalore and Mysore. I repeat, Hyderabad, Nagpur, Bhopal, Indore, Bangalore and Mysore are important cities of this region. So here we come to the end of the plateau region. Next is the desert region. The desert region. The Great Indian Desert. A desert is an area that receives either very little rainfall or no rainfall at all. I repeat, a desert is an area that receives either very little rainfall or no rainfall at all. Deserts have very little vegetation and either very or very low temperature. The Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert, stretches from the Gujarat plains in the south to the borders of Punjab and Haryana in the north. To its east lies the Aravalli Range. The desert covers a major part of western Rajasthan and extends up to Pakistan in west. Okay, here we can see the picture. The Great Indian Desert, okay, Thar Desert, known as Thar Desert. It is extending towards the neighboring country, that is Pakistan. Now let us study about life in the desert. The Great Indian Desert is dry and sandy. Just look at the picture, children. This is a picture of the Thar Desert. The Great Indian Desert is dry and sandy as it gets very little rainfall. River Luni, I repeat, River Luni flows through the region, but it has very little water all through the year. The water is very little. Summer months here are very hot and the winter months are very cold. During the day it gets very hot, but at night they are quite cool, okay? That is quite cold. This is why, because sand gets very hot in the day and cools down very quickly at night. Hot dry winds are very common here. Due to scarcity of water, there is hardly any plant life. Scattered bushes and thorny scrubs are found here. Plants such as cactus, kikar and babul, which require little water, grow in the desert. Water in the desert is often salty and not good for most plants. Deserts plants are usually thorny. They also have very long roots which reach deep down to tap underground water. Okay, because there is a scarcity of water. Okay, the plant vegetation is very less over there. Now, In some places, oases are found. In some places, oases are found. Now, what is an oasis? See, look at the picture. This is a picture of an oasis in the Thar desert. Oases are found. An oasis is a place in the desert where underground water comes to the surface. Can you see this underground water has come to the surface? Date palms grow here. And most villages in the desert are clustered around these oases. Okay. Here they are clustered means they find their dwellings over here. Since the desert has very little vegetation to hold the soil in place, when a wind blows, it carries sand with it, causing dust storms. Okay, these dust storms cause sand dunes. Sand dunes. Now, what are sand dunes? Sand dunes, okay, we had studied that they are small hills of sand to move from one place to another. To solve the water problem faced by people of the desert. To solve the water problem faced by the people of the desert. Government, our Indian government also has built Indira Gandhi Canal. We had studied about the multi-purpose project. Okay, this canal gets its water supply from river Satluj and its tributaries. The canal has eased the problem of water shortage faced by household and farms, and more land can be brought under cultivation. This water can be used not only for solving the water shortage problem, but it can be used for agriculture also. Crops like wheat, barley, maize, jowar and bajra are grown here. Now let us study about the importance. Okay, after we finish with the importance of the study, in the next topic I will be covering all the exercise part. Okay, so you need to revise and read the chapter carefully. Okay, now coming to the importance of desert. Life is difficult in the desert, but the desert region is also known for its beauty. Tourists from India and abroad visit the state of Rajasthan to see what desert life is like. People of Rajasthan are very fun loving. They love to wear colorful clothes, bright colors. Okay, their festivals like Diwali, Tej, Gangot, Dashera are very lively. There they celebrate it with very fun and enthusiasm. One should not miss riding in camel while visiting Rajasthan. Here also children, if you happen to go towards Choki Dhane, there when you go, no, it is a feeling like you have come to Rajasthan. There also camel ride is there. Many people in the desert lead a nomadic life. This means they do not live at one place but are always on a move. Okay, they don't settle down at one place. The nomads of the Thar desert are called Banjaras. They use camels to move from one place to another. That is why camel is called the ship of the desert. Camel is called the ship of the... Now here you see, it's the family of Banjara settled up a camp. Can you see in the picture? Now, the camels. Camels have long legs, padded feet for walking in the sand. They have humps, that is on their back to store water. Okay, which make it possible for them to go without food and water for a long time. Now, some important towns. Some important towns in the Indian desert region are Rajasthan, Jaisalmer, Jodhpur, Bikaner and Udaipur. Houses here mostly have flat roofs. Can you see? See in the picture, a typical desert house. Okay. Small windows and thick walls to keep them cool during the day and warm at night. See the small windows. The region has a number of forts and palaces built by the Rajput kings who ruled in this area years ago. This region also has a number of wildlife sanctuaries. You know what is a wildlife sanctuary? Where wild animals are protected. Okay, here in Gujarat also we have, those who remember, it's Gujarat, Gir in Gujarat. Okay, here in Rajasthan, that is Ranthambore, Bharatpur and Sariska. Okay, the wildlife sanctuaries which are there in the desert region. Tigers, panthers, deer and a variety of birds are found here. Variety of birds are found here. We'll quickly go through the recap. Let's recall. The Plateau region in India extends from south of the northern plains to the southern tip of India. The Plateau regions are divided into Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Rivers of the South India are flooded with water during the rainy season. They are not perennial. Okay. The desert region in the northwestern India, also known as the Great Indian Desert or Thar Desert. Okay, the desert covers a major part of the western Rajasthan and extends up to Pakistan in the west. Life, as we also in Indian desert, is difficult. Why? Because there is scarcity of water in this region. As you all know, at home also water shortage is then we feel very difficult. Okay, because water is, very, very essential. Since morning till night, I don't know how much water we must be using. Rather, many people have the habit of wasting water, which we should not waste. It's a natural resource. We have to preserve the natural resources. The source of water is rain, and rain is not uniform at all the places. Okay, now these the new words you need to go through. Okay, oasis, dust storms, nomad. Okay, you need to refer and revise the new words. In the next video, I am going to cover up the exercises of this chapter. Okay, till then, goodbye, take care and read the chapter maybe twice, maybe thrice. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Thank you, children.